The Sharks dominate the Sens in every way but on the scoreboard.
You're Locked On Sharks, your daily podcast on the San Jose Sharks, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hello, welcome to Locked On Sharks, the premier hockey podcast covering your favorite team in the Bay Area. My name is JD Young, caretaker at the Reef, also the co-host of Western Conference Tuesday on the Locked On NHL channel. I want to thank you for making Locked On Sharks your first listen, proudly part of the Locked On Network. We cover your team every day. And if you want to be an everydayer, all you have to do is just follow wherever you get podcasts, or you can watch on YouTube as well. And today we're going to be talking about the Sharks dominating the Sens in all ways, but on the scoreboard, as they lose 4-3 to the Ottawa Senators. Will Smith having his best game in the NHL. Macklin Celebrini continues to do Macklin Celebrini things while looking like a badass while doing it. We'll dig into the numbers and talk about why, again, process over results. Like, I know it sucks we lost, but process tonight was beautiful. So before we get to all that, do want to let you guys know that today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. You can start the season with a big return on FanDuel. New customers can place a $5 bet, and you'll get started with $150 in bonus bets if you win your first $5 bet. Visit FanDuel.com to get started. Let's start the children. Will Smith and Macklin. We'll start with Will Smith tonight because, you know, we start with Macklin a lot. And we'll talk about Macklin here in a minute, but Will Smith tonight having his best game in teal. And we're starting to see more and more of Will Smith looking good tonight. Wow, Will Smith doing some good stuff. Will Smith with a goal and an assist now has back-to-back multi-point games. Had 2 assists in the Sharks' 7-2 beatdown of the Kings on Monday night. Follows it up tonight, and you could tell from the jump. Will Smith tonight. That's usually like with Smith, you can kind of tell like right from the jump, like boom, Will Smith's got it tonight. And Will Smith had it tonight. You see the beautiful passing. Anytime you can get Mario Ferraro involved in the offense positively, you're probably doing something pretty good. And Mario Ferraro scores his first goal of the season tonight on a beautiful feed from Will Smith, a pass where, or most people, you know, shoot the puck. And it's very Joe Thornton, like, no, I'm just going to basically bank it in off of Mario Ferraro's stick there. But again, that vision from Smith, right? And there's still things he needs to continue to work on, right? Of course. But you're starting to see the confidence and the flashes, more and more flashes of the playmaking. The goal tonight, great. Like, he gets an open space and just takes it to the net. You know, bar down, kind of bounces around, bounces around and then goes into the net. But like that goal wasn't fluke. Like, he earned that goal with the way he had been playing tonight. This is what you want to see. I still think this doesn't mean change, because the results are getting better. This doesn't mean change your process with Will Smith, where especially with the Sharks having a back-to-back on Friday and Saturday, wouldn't be right. Expect Will Smith to sit out one of those games as you're continuing. Again, even though you're seeing better results, that means the process is working. There's no need to change the process right now with Will Smith. So encouraging to see him continuing to grow and develop. And once Granlund comes back, who missed tonight's game, is kind of considered day to day. Like, you're gonna have some opportunities to put together some lines here that might see Will Smith continue to blossom once he gets around some other skilled players. So one of those skilled players tonight, Macklin Celebrini, just like, the dude's special, man. One takes a puck off his face, is like actively bleeding, finishes his shift, like doesn't even like finishes his shift like it's nothing. Goes and gets cleaned up and goes back out there because the Sharks need him as they're down a goal, trying to finish off, like trying to complete the comeback again. Um, I said it before. The kid's gonna wear the cap. He's going to be the next captain. Like it's just a matter of time. Like I don't know what else you like. The kid's already at 18. He's already like you're starting to see the leadership qualities showing up. He's just that dude, and we have that dude. Celebrini again was spectacular tonight, and Ryan Warsofsky leaned on that Celebrini line. I know I usually talk about the lines in the second segment, but Celebrini, Eklund, and Zetterlund played 1707 of 5-on-5. 17 minutes of 5-on-5 time tonight. They had 21 shot attempts, gave up 10, 13-5 actual shots on goal for this line. 8 scoring chances to 4 scoring chances, 5-0 high danger chances. This line right now is clicking on all cylinders, and that's even with Zetterlund having to wear the bubble tonight after taking a stick up high in the last game, and they said they had to pull his teeth forward, which doesn't sound very good. But you see just how even on the Celebrini goal, right? Like Eklund has been playing some of his best hockey now that these two have. Like Eklund's been playing well all season, but you're seeing Eklund go to another level now that he has somebody like Celebrini. Because how often will we see Eklund do cool stuff and the puck just kind of goes through the crease and there's nobody there, or like Nick, I just always the Nick Bonino, the puck, he's just not ready for it. If you remember way back in the early Eklund days, Nick Bonino just standing there as the puck goes by because he just doesn't think Eklund can do something like that. What does Eklund do? Eklund soccer like kicks it off his skate, gets it to his blade, makes a pass to Celebrini, and Celebrini is there knowing the puck's going to come to him because he trusts and believes in his teammates. This is it's so beautiful, guys. It's so beautiful. And again, the Sharks lost tonight. Like, and we'll talk about that here in a little bit, but you have to be so impressed with the way. It's not that the Sharks are, they're winning games and stuff like that, and they're being more, competitive in these games, but it's who's doing it, right? It's Celebrini, it's Smith, it's Eklund, it's Fabian Zetterlund. It's guys who are going to be part of your next core, and guys who are like going to be like Zetterlund's the oldest of those guys I just mentioned, and he's he's what 25. He's a grandpa compared to these other dudes. And like we don't, we've seen Askarov for a couple of games. Like you have Luca Cagnoni, you have Muka Madulin, you have Sam Dickinson. If side note, our good friend Will Scouch today, excellent video breakdown of Sam Dickinson's game. I highly recommend go checking it out. It's about 25 minutes long. Like he goes through and just like this is what Dickinson does really well. This is what he needs to work on. Like he does a great job. Good friend of the show, Will Scouch. I was texting him today. Shout out to Scouch. Great job on that video. But anyway, like this is why this team is going to be so good here, and it's going to happen faster than I think we realize. Because of one, Macklin, Celebrini leading the way. Two, like guys like William Eklund who are now slotted where they need to be and have the appropriate guys around them. Yes, they lost tonight, and we'll break down the loss a little bit more here soon. But I don't know how you don't come away from this game just feeling so positive about the direction of this team and just how quickly things are starting to come together for this team. And it's still a long road. Again, like I make it very clear, like this is not a playoff caliber team, and nor should they try like stick to the plan, process over results. The process is working now, but this team is not a playoff team. They should not aspire to be a playoff team. But again, the goal is to be competitive night in and night out and show these young guys getting better every night. And you're seeing that, like so far, a quarter of the way through the season, you are seeing that from this team, and that is all you can ask for right now. So we'll dig into the numbers of this game, talk about kind of what went wrong for San Jose, even though they did so well, and again, talk about this process over results, why it's so important to stick to the formula, even if you're starting to get to results. So we'll get to that here in just 1 second. Get ready to tackle the NFL action with FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook, because right now new customers can bet $5 and get $150 in bonus bets if you win. The FanDuel Sportsbook app gives you everything you need to place live bets on the NFL all in one place. So you get a hunch in the middle of a game, you can check out the latest stats, view live play-by-play, and so much more on the same page where you place your bets. Just visit FanDuel.com to join today. You'll get started $150 in bonus bets if you win your first $5 bet. That's FanDuel.com. Never waste a hunch. Make every moment more with FanDuel, the official sportsbook partner of the NFL. And if you want to get to the tank, because why would you not want to go see Macklin, Celebrini, and Will Smith? You need to check out Game Time. Game Time has a new feature called Game Time Picks that makes getting tickets to your favorite live events even easier. Game Time Picks filters out the fluff to show you only incredible deals on great seats, so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets. They have curated deals to make it even easier to find the best price on great seats. Of course, you can see your seats before you buy. Nothing worse than getting to an event and realizing my seats stink. So take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONNHL2 for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code LOCKEDONNHL, LOCKEDONNHL for $20 off. Download Game Time today. What time is it? Game time. All right. Let's dig into the numbers of this game. So, again, the Sharks 39-11 shot attempts. The Sens had one shot in the third period, and unfortunately, it was a goal. Like when I say the Sharks dominated, this is one of the most thorough dominations I've seen. Other like where the Sharks have been on the like positive end, right? We've seen plenty the other way around. Like if you think about like the like last year when they played the Hurricanes at the beginning of the season, right, where they played Colorado, like these numbers are very similar to those type of performances. And maybe this was just like the Sharks have been in a lot of games that they shouldn't have, where maybe the scales are balancing a little bit, but still process over results. Shot attempts 65-28 by the San Jose Sharks at 5-on-5. Coursing for 69.89 to 30.11. Actual shots 33-10 at 5-on-5. 30-16 scoring chances. 16-3 high danger chances. 2.93 to 1.25 expected goals for. But unfortunately, you lose 4-3. And again, it wasn't like, and it was the impressive thing about San Jose, like they were consistent. First period, 21 shot attempts in 17 minutes. Second period, 22 shot attempts in 19 and a half minutes. Third period, 22 shots in about 15 minutes from them. They gave up 2 shot attempts at 5-on-5 in the third period, and they just couldn't get a save. But credit to the Sens, when they've had their opportunities, they took advantage of them. And few and far between, but they took advantage of them tonight. And this is one of those games where if you get a save, especially like that couple of the two Gaudette goals, especially where they're just throwing the puck at the net. Gaudette's crashing that, and credit to Gaudette, who's scored 10 goals this year, kind of out of the blue. Where the defender ties him up a little bit better, or like just the defense is a little bit cleaner there. Blackwell's not having to kind of scramble in there. And like, I'm not going to pin, like, yes, it's easy to pin it on Blackwell tonight, or Blackwood tonight. Sorry, excuse me. Blackwood tonight, because of, again, you see 4 goals on 11 shots. It's like, well, the goalie sucked. How many games has Blackwood seen 40 some odd shots and saved the Sharks bacon. Again, you got balancing the scales here. You almost wonder if Blackwood, who's used to seeing so much volume, like if you're just again, the Sens went 20 minutes at one point between shots, like 20 minutes. That's like a Shark stat right there. You wonder if Blackwood just not used to the lack of volume. 11 shots in a period is like a normal Blackwood experience, and 11 shots in a game. Not trying to make excuses, but I'm not trying to bury Blackwood because he's been so good for the Sharks since getting here. And I would fully expect in Blackwood's next game, he's going to come out and he's going to want to make up for this performance. That's just go back, look at every time Blackwood has a bad game. That next game, he is lights out. And I assume he starts Saturday night against the Kraken. I think he's going to be lights out that game. So looking at the forward lines, again, we talked about the Celebrini line. A little bit weird because Barclay Goodrow left the game early in the first period. He took like two big hits right away. Left. They were pretty quick to rule him out. So we'll see what that means for the Sharks, especially good thing is Barracuda already, in town. Everybody's in town right now. They practice on Thursday, game early Friday. So we'll probably know more if the Sharks bring someone up. It'll probably be tomorrow to kind of make sure they practice if they think Goodrow's not going to be around for a while, and also with Granlund's availability. So those two guys kind of give the Sharks a little bit of if they feel like one of them might go to IR. I would assume it would be Goodrow just because of his injury. Like they called him out, they pulled him out right away. They put him on IR and just like give him a week to get ready. And since Granlund has been skating, I assume Granlund's like legitimately day to day, but we'll see more tomorrow. Anyway, looking at the numbers though, so Cunnin, Wenberg, Toffoli played a little under 12 minutes, 15-9 shot attempts. Actual shots were 5-3, did give up a goal. 8-6 scoring chances, 6-2 high danger chances for that line. Smith, Sturm, and Clean Costin played 7-3. They played about 5 minutes. 7-3 shot attempts, 3-0 actual shots. Had one goal. 4 scoring chances to 2 for that line. We also had Costin, Delanger, Grunstrom played 4-10. 2-3 shot attempts, 1-2 actual shots, gave up a goal. 0.2 to 0.31 expected goals for. We'll say also, I thought Team Costin, one of the probably easily the best game we've seen from Costin all season. So I know he's a guy who's really struggled this year to kind of find his role, especially since he's not gifted top 6 minutes like he was last year, or he did have top 6 minutes and did not do anything with them. Hopefully he can maybe find his game here a little bit, especially if Goodrow is down for a while. This might be a chance for him to reestablish his game. So, and it was pretty, he was kind of the guy who got the first bump up, especially like Delanger, who's played really well this year. Like, it's kind of interesting that like Clean Costin kind of get that first bump onto the third line with Sturm and Smith. So, as for the defensive pairs tonight, again, Barclay Goodrow, it's like 2 good games in a row from Goodrow. Like Goodrow was all over it tonight. Like he was in the middle of everything. Had the goal, took a penalty, drew a penalty. I thought Goodrow played pretty well tonight, which is good to sign because he's definitely struggled this year. And maybe the Ferraro Liljegren starting to kind of figure things out a little bit here, which would be a nice for them. Run Ruda actually led the way with Corsi. They had 11 shot attempts, 4-3 against. Liljegren 24 Ferraro 24-12. Then Wallman CC 16-10. So again, when you so dominate the shot attempts, the defensive pairs are going to look pretty good tonight. So I'll say Blackwood. I keep saying Blackwell. I'll say Blackwood. We won't go through Blackwood's numbers because again, I'm gonna let him slide. There wasn't anything like super egregious, and I'm just think back to all the games for Blackwood. Shut the door for I think there was the one game earlier this year where he had faced 19 shots in the third period against the Devils. Yeah, so I'm just gonna pull that card out right now on Blackwood. So we'll talk about the process of results more here in the third period, in the third segment. Sorry, third period. Playing a little hurt tonight. Anyway, so we'll talk about that here in just 1 second. If you're a renter, I'd start taking advantage of Built if I were you. Here's the thing, we earn points on groceries, travel, and practically everything else we buy. But why shouldn't we also be earning points on rent? One of our biggest monthly expenses. Built changed the game by letting renters earn high value points on rent in around their neighborhood. There's no cost to join Built. And as remember, you'll earn valuable points on rent on your everyday spending. Built points can be transferred to your favorite hotels and airlines, and even ones you haven't heard of. Over 500 airlines and 700,000 hotels and properties around the world where you can redeem your Built points. Points can also be redeemed towards a future rent payment and unique experiences that only Built members can access. So you haven't been earning points on rent. My question is, why not? Start earning points on rent. You've been paying by just going to joinbuilt.com/lockedonnhl. That's joinbilt.com/lockedonnhl. Make sure to use our URL so that we know that we sent you. Joinbuilt.com/lockedonnhl to start earning points on your rent payments today. All right. Again, thank you guys for making it Locked On Sharks your first listen. Proudly part of the Locked On Network. We cover your team every day. You guys are done with this episode. Make sure you go check out one of the other great shows here at the Locked On Network. Of course, we have Locked On Fantasy Hockey. So if your fantasy hockey team needs some help, they got you covered there. Go check out Locked On Warriors, Locked On A's, Locked On Giants, Locked On 49ers. Plenty of great stuff at all those shows. Where again, cover your team every day. So, process of results. And this is one of those games, right? We talked, especially yesterday, we talked about Macklin Celebrini and kind of his effect on the team, right? And looked at kind of digging behind the numbers and how this team has been scoring more goals, but maybe some of the underlying numbers, little like shot attempts and actual shots on, like some of those numbers are not what you'd expect, right? This was one of those games that's going to help those numbers. And I said it yesterday. I was like, don't be surprised if you start to see Celebrini and the team drag those numbers up to where we expect. And tonight's going to be a big help in that. So maybe not the goals scored above expected as the Sharks tonight. I mean, he did score 3 goals, but in all situations tonight, the Sharks they should have scored 3.7. Anyway, maybe this makes up for Monday where they scored 7 goals on 1 point something expected goals for. So, but again, it stinks that we lost. But if you thinking about the process, right, where you're adding a bunch of young players and you still have a lot of players who are yet to make an impact. And I think tonight is where you saw, especially on the blue line, where yes, the Corsi numbers were pretty solid, but how many of those mistakes tonight where it was the puck's not coming cleanly out of your zone, right? And it's a turnover in the neutral zone, and the Sens take advantage and jump on it and send the puck the other way. That's basically every goal tonight by the Sens was off a turnover like that. Even on the power play, Delandre almost gets the puck out of the zone. All the defensemen are already starting to kind of crash their way out. And, it's trying to maybe push it and maybe get a shorthanded opportunity. And the puck just kind of squirts by, and it's basically a mini 2-on-1. This is where I think for Mike Greer and Ryan Warsawski, where, yes, your Jan Rudas and, Cody Cece's and your veterans here, yes, they have a role now, but you've been getting a lot of success by leaning on your young players. And when I mean leaning on your young players, like Macklin Celebrini played 25 and a half minutes tonight. Well, that's not sustainable right now. And he should not be playing that much time all the time. But he was your best player tonight. And it was pretty clear. William Eklund played 24-40. Fabian Zetterlund played 23-25. Even Will Smith, they're still keeping a cap on the minutes for Will Smith. And just because results you're starting to see results, don't change the process with Will Smith right now. He played 14-44. The defensemen, they were able to do a good job of kind of spreading out the minutes with them, and everybody except for Ruda and Thrun, they played within like a minute of each other. Like CC played 1950, Liljegren played 2058, Ferraro played 2027, and Wallman played 2029. That's like what you want to see. So you're not kind of leaning on these guys too much, but you're having you're seeing good process from your young players as you're starting to give them more responsibilities. And I hope we start to see that same thing with the defense here. And whether that's Jack Thompson or Shakir Mukhamadullin or, Luca Cagnoni at some point. Again, is Ruda and CC, are they going to be long-term part of this team? No, they're not, right? The Sharks, they've been leaning into the young players has been what has brought them the most success. And it's part of their process this year of trying to figure out which of these young players are kind of ready to go and who's going to be part of your long-term solution. And at some point, you're going to have to kind of pull the ripcord and let these young defensemen get in here and start working on their process. I know the Sharks brought back up Jack Thompson, with Askarov going down. Sharks brought back Jack Thompson, but again, I've said it before, and I'll keep saying Jack Thompson's an NHL defenseman. He needs to play NHL minutes every night, because he does stuff that Ruda and CC don't do. And the Sharks need to have a puck-moving defenseman on the ice at all times. And I think if you start to see that more and start to rely on these guys, yes, they're going to have their rookie mistakes, right? But again, wouldn't you rather have a young defenseman making their rookie mistakes than seeing a veteran make the same mistakes? I know I would. So, and if you get a puck moving defenseman who can either skate the puck out of the zone on his own or is very good at getting like either stretch passes or getting those passes going, you're going to have less of these turnovers in the neutral zone because your defensemen aren't just scrambling to try to get the puck out of the zone. You want a guy who's a little bit calmer with the puck on his stick and who can get the transition, is used to kind of getting the transition going and being the guy and getting it to your Celebrinis and your Eklunds, and these other guys who are very good at your zone transitions and getting the offense started. So we'll see when this happens, hopefully sooner rather than later. But this whole process this year is getting these young guys acclimated to NHL play and seeing kind of what they need to work on. You're seeing Will Smith. You're seeing, again, the process has been very good with Will Smith. You're starting to see results. Macklin Celebrini is a special dude who's is just a different cat. Let's start to see some of these young defensemen, right? Again, I know Ferraro played really well tonight, and maybe getting Ferraro with a legitimate puck moving defenseman like Liljegren who can play two ways. Maybe this they're starting to kind of figure things out. That is great. Let's figure out that third pair, so that way you do have a Wallman, you have a Liljegren, and Thompson or whomever else that can get the puck moving. So that's gonna be it for me tonight. Reminder: no episode Thursday night like we typically do. We're gonna have a recap of Friday's matinee. So that'll be your Friday episode. So make sure you guys are following along wherever you get podcasts. And of course, you can watch on YouTube as well. If you haven't, I haven't gotten a review on Apple in a while. So if you haven't left a review, that'd be a perfect time with Celebrini. You know, we got new fans coming, learning about, excited about Macklin Celebrini. It helps to get the show out there with the reviews. So take 2 seconds if you don't want to listen to your family talk about politics, and give me a nice little review. Anyway, follow the show Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Locked On Sharks. Follow me on Twitter and Blue Sky at My Fry Hole. Until Friday afternoon. Bye, friends.